Last thing I want to show you guys is basically PDF or book, how to create a book. So Lightroom has in it the option to create what is referred to as a blurb book. How many of you guys have heard of Blurb? No one? Okay. Blurb, yeah, Blurb, Blrub, I believe, is a self-publishing book publishing site. So you can basically publish one or two books at a time using Blurb. You can publish like small magazines, they can be hardcover, softcover, so on and so forth. Oh, why is it taking so long? But um, Blurb is that option. But also in the book publishing option, you can publish a PDF. So how many of you guys have seen like a PDF file where there's like multiple images and you kind of click through and it opens in preview or something like that? PDF files are really great for a couple reasons. One, they're usually smaller and easier to send than a whole bunch of JPEGs. Two, they are in whatever order you put them in. And three, they will like turn pages. You can click from one image to the next and therefore have some kind of sequential order. So if you need to send a portfolio to a client or a potential client, making a PDF portfolio is actually a really quick and easy way to tailor it to that particular client's needs. So say somebody emails you and says, hey, I like your work. Do you do any food photography? And you go, yeah, I do. You can go through your catalog, pull out your food images, make a PDF portfolio, shoot it to them through email or whatever, and they have your work relatively quickly, and it looks good. Not, yeah, the files aren't as big. So let me just show you guys this as kind of a quick way of looking at it. We're going to look at the blurb part first. So right now, it's laid out as a blurb book. It has a back cover and a front cover. So think, front cover, back cover. That's why it's laid out backwards. So back cover and front cover, and those are whatever pictures happen to be 1 and 2. And then as I scroll down, it's got multiple pages with the photographs on it. So I can change, one, the size of the book, if I wanted a small square book, or if I want to do a large landscape book, I can change the size of the book. It's also going to give me a lovely little price estimate as well. I can change if I want a hardcover image wrap, or hardcover with a dust jacket, and what kind of printing paper or paper type I want it on. All right, so I'm just kind of clicking through and notice this keeps changing. Okay, leave that. That's the logo on the back page. So if you notice, if I go to the last page, there's the logo, and if I shut it off, goodbye. All right, they're going to charge you less though if you leave your logo on. Look at the price change, 20 bucks. Not quite 20 bucks. So Learn More is going to bring it to their website. So if you scroll down here, if you do want to make, and here's the thing that's nice about this, guys, too, you can actually publish it as a book. There are online sites now. One of them is known as Issue that publish digital magazines. So you can publish a digital magazine through this, use this to create the PDF, and then you upload it to Issue. I actually did that this Christmas with a lot of these pictures. I gave them to Janie as like a Christmas present. Here's a digital magazine of all of our vacation photos. I did it through here. I created a PDF and I uploaded it to their site. So if you're interested in doing that kind of thing, Kim Wilson does a lot with Issue, and I have a couple friends down south in Georgia who create a monthly magazine called Paprika Southern, and they publish it through Issue. That's how their clients get the magazine. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can use this for that. So if you want to have a cover or no cover on the book, you can. You can actually, I think that shut that off somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where. But you can adjust the layout of the files too. So like right now I have, nothing picture. I can change that to one photo per page. Come on. Of course, it's being annoying for me today. And then I can click on these to move them. It's actually probably easier to do this if I can think about it and do one photo per page, clear layout. Ah, this takes some getting used to. It's useful, but it takes some getting used to. When you bring everything in, that's a fun sound. When you bring everything in, it's going to kind of auto lay it out for you. So you can, make sure you're bringing things in and then change the sets, or do it after the fact. So now I have this all laid out. I can put my files in kind of wherever I want to, and it's going to go and add them. But I can also add pages here just by clicking Add Page, put on my file. So I can change the order if I want to. Now you notice too, like this particular file, it's resizing the file to fit in the image in the page. So you want the whole picture, you have to zoom it down or zoom it up. It's up to you on that. And then as you guys saw, I can change my page layouts if I want to have text, if I want to have a nice photo with a border, if I want to have fun montages or interesting backgrounds or things like that. I don't know why it's not letting me do these. I can do that as well. I have a bunch of different page layouts that I can choose. I can have multiple photos per page. So if I do something like this, then I can add and have a multiple page layout, okay? So what I'm looking for from you guys is not necessarily a book. So you can click under Blurb and you just go to PDF. And choose no cover because it'll make your life easier. So no cover because it'll make your life easier if you don't have a cover. And then from there, you can lay this out however you want to. I tend to think for a PDF book, for if you're sending somebody a portfolio, something where all of your pages look relatively similar and your images fit on that page fully looks nice. And then this is where you can start really moving around your images and putting them in a way that makes sense for you. So once you get that laid out, and I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 more pages. Sorry. Once you get that all laid out, and you can zoom in and out on the thumbnails to see what you got there, you can go ahead and export this. So we're going to double check on our sizes. So if we take a look, I have it set as large landscape right now. That's 13 by 11. That's pretty good size. You probably don't need that. Your standard portrait size is going to be 8.5 by 11. Or if you go landscape, I'm going to go with portrait size. There we go. Actually, I'm going to go landscape. That makes a little more sense. Landscape makes a little more sense for my images. And I'm going to put that guy back in there. Change this to that. There we go. All right, so this, like I said, this takes a little finagling. Getting it to work just the way you want it takes some practice, okay? But the thing you have to remember is once you export the image and it doesn't work, or the PDF and it doesn't work, just toss it and create it again. You're not throwing away money or throwing away paper or anything like that. You're just, making it work for you. Let's just add. All right. So now that I have it all set the way I want it, I'm going to come over here and double check my settings. So in this case, I want to go standard landscape, 10 by 8, because most of my images fall into landscape. For you guys, if you have a lot of portrait images, go with the portrait setting. From here, I'm not going to be printing it. I just want to export it, so I don't really have to worry about file resolution. I'm actually going to drop that down to 72 because I'm not printing it. I'm just looking at it on the screen, all right? So what is that going to do for me? Makes it smaller. Makes it a lot smaller. Sharpening. Yeah. I dropped it down to 72 because I'm only going to be using this. Like I said, you're sending it to a client for them to look at potential work years. They don't need 300 PPI. They just need 72 to see it. All right, so I'm going to go through here and double check. I'm going to kick up my quality a little bit more, like I said, about 80 or so. 80. There we go. And scroll through and check the rest of this area. Now, safe area, text in safe area and things like that, those are the guides around the edge of the image. They shouldn't show when you export this. So now I've got everything pretty much set the way I want. And you guys can play with this too. If you want the backgrounds of the pages, oops, to be different colors, you can. There's a way to do that, and I'm forgetting what it is off the top of my head. There we go. So if you want them all to be gray or red or what have you, you can do that with your images over here under the background. Apply background globally or not globally means that it's going to only work on certain images. So if I want this last page white and I want all the rest of them black, I can do that. If I want to make all of them the same, I want to do it globally. I'm going to change this to gray because I think I like my images on a nice gray color. I think it looks nice. If you want to have some kind of graphic, you can. Like I said, there's these different kind of fun travel photos. You can, let me zoom in and show you that if I want to have a nice little map in the background to make it all fun and fancy. You can. I tend to think, keep your images clean. You don't necessarily need to do anything like that. That one's going to be a little bit more prominent. But you have those there if you want to add them. I'm going with that one because this is for me and not for real. All right, so for you guys, if you're sending it to a client, don't do that stuff, obviously. Keep it black, white, gray, something normal. You want your photos to shine. You don't want, whatever else it is that they might be looking at to deter them. So once you get it all the way you want it to be, you can, adjust the fun little graphic in the background. Go ahead and export PDF book. Save it whatever as you want. And decide where to put it. Tag it if you want to add any kind of color tag for some reason. I don't think you necessarily need to do that, and I'm going to hit save. Now, it's going to take a minute to export, especially if it has to do any kind of file size in a way that it actually fits on the piece of paper. And then I'm going to show this to you. So you can actually, if you are interested in doing so, you can actually send a book to Blurb right through Lightroom and get it all set up. Blurbs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can send it to Blurb through Lightroom. Blurb has its own software online where you can do this kind of same thing, so you might be able to integrate with that. But it allows you guys to create it all in Lightroom and save it. So you can save books as well. I can save this as whatever I want. And it's going to save either inside my collection set, which I wouldn't mind putting it in there because that way I can always go back to it. So anytime I go and I want to work on this again, I can click on that and it'll come back. So let me show you guys this really quickly. There's my travel book. There's all my files, and I can just click through them. Look at them pretty quickly. Now, again, because I clicked that Save Book option, when I come out to Library, I'll see my travel book right there in my... It'll show me the photographs that I use for the travel book in there. So I can, from here, if I come back to all photos, if I want to add something to that travel book, I can come back in here. It's going to be there. When I come back into the book module, it is going to sit down there until I add it to the book. And in this case, I'm going to have to create an extra page. And there you go. So now I have another page if I want to keep adding to my book. You can create multiple books. So like I said, you have a food portfolio book, you have a portraits or headshot portfolio book, and just go ahead and save it in whatever collection set or collection that may be applicable for that particular book. And you can always update it and just export a new PDF and done. Okay? So that's the last part about the project that I want you guys to work on is once you get all of those images where you need to have them, I need high res, low res, and a PDF book, all right, as part of your project.